and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZeee. And let's jump into today's episode.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Afternoon, evening.
What is up?
Life. Did you see that on your day off, the store flooded?
Yeah, I was.
I wish you would have been there.
Why?
Just for the drama. The drama of it all. Crazy. So because I have crappy neighbors in my apartment, I can tell nonsense when I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your real apartment.
My real apartment. So I can tell nonsense from a mile away. So in the store, randomly, and mind you, like D was working, but randomly I see a small leak coming from the vent. And I'm like, that's odd. There's water coming from the vent. So whatever, I put like the little trash bag from the bathroom under it. Text the landlord like, hey, there's a small leak coming from the vent. Maybe, no, this is what I text him. I said, it's possible that maybe there's a flood or a leak in the apartment upstairs and maybe it's leaking through the vent. And he was like, oh no, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's the HVAC system. But water would only leak in an HVAC system if it's cold air, not if it's hot air. It's winter, so I had the heat on, not the AC on. And again, I don't know that is a fact, but I think from experience, whatever. Either way, so I was like, I don't know if that's it, but we'll see. He said he'll call the HVAC guy and have him come out the next day. So I'm like, okay. Then leak gets heavier. Then it starts leaking from other places. Oh my God. Mind you, this is like the center of the store, like right in the middle. So, or center right. And so then I'm like, yeah, no, something's going on. Like the leak is getting worse. And then blaring, the fire alarm goes off. There's this whole light system that flashes like a seizure. It's mind-numbingly loud.
Oh my God. Yeah, good thing I wasn't there.
Right.
Fire alarms always trigger me.
Really?
From my job that I worked at, that fire alarm was so loud for some reason, and then after that moment always replay in my head, and I just begin. So I just get nervous.
What is there? Actual fire?
No.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It just scared me.
Yeah.
And then the whole fire department had to come.
Yeah.
Did they come?
Yeah. Several times. So I'm texting my landlord. At this point, my landlord isn't responding. He has a day job, so I assume he's working. But I text him like, hey, fire alarm went off. Leak got worse. Pretty sure there's a flood upstairs, but I guess they'll check it. Like at this point, now that the fire alarm is going off, I'm thinking like maybe the water leaked onto something electrical in the apartment upstairs from me, and then that's why it's triggering the fire alarm. But whatever, I don't know. So, fire department comes. They go into the side entrance to the apartments upstairs, and it turns out that not the apartment above me, but the one above that left their sink running. Mind you, it's like 3 p.m. I guess they left out for work at 8 a.m. They left their sink running, which flooded their apartment, leaked down to the second floor, flooded that apartment, which then started leaking down to my store. So, good times. Then, fire department comes and they're all like, okay, well, we're going to shut the water off. We're going to do this, that, da-da-da.
They had to break the door or something? How did he get in?
He left his door unlocked.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
The other kind. So, I don't even, anyway. So, yeah, then the person gets home and they're like, what's going on? What's happening? And the fire department is like, yeah, you left your sink running all day and the apartments are flooded and now it's flooding your entire store. He's like, I didn't do that. I would never do that. And they're like, bro, we were just in your apartment.
Right.
Like, we turned the sink off.
Right.
We know what the cause is. Like, check your floor. And he was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I would never. I don't know what must have happened. Whatever. So, okay. Then again, the alarm trips off again, like a half hour later after the fire department leaves. The fire department apparently has to come out every time the alarm trips.
Oh my God.
They come again, blaring down the street, blah, blah. And then I had to cancel my fit-in because there's a leak in the store. And during prom season, if you cancel somebody's fit-in, the world has ended.
Oh my God.
They think you lying. They think the dresses are done. They think, oh, she just trying to get my money. So I'm like, literally, ma'am, there's a full fire department here. Well, what about my dress? Can I deal with this issue? Your dress is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh. But that little part is annoying, but whatever. I just say all that to say, choose your store neighbors wisely. I know you can't really technically choose your store neighbors, especially if you don't own the building. But I feel like this person in particular always has something. It's always something.
Yeah, it was always something. I
So
felt bad seeing him pack.
pack. I felt bad. I think the landlord was like, enough is enough. Yeah, like this is hurting the property, and all the tenants below are suffering because of this one person's actions. So it's just that about that time, and I think his lease would have been up in May anyway, so just a month early,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the whole block has like good neighbors though.
Yeah.
So it was just him.
I mean, I don't know what anybody else's situation is with the people that live above their stores. Basically, the way the block is set up, every first floor is a retail space, and every building has 2 or 3 apartments above them. Yeah, I don't know how other people are with their neighbors, but
he used the trash. Remember the trash? It was always something. Oh my
the
God.
trash. Oh my gosh, always
the drinking.
It's just because then people would blame me for the trash and think I'm putting the trash out on the wrong day. So then they would put the trash bags in front of my store. That used to really get on my nerves.
Oh my God.
That used to really drive me up a wall. Pick your neighbors wisely.
He's somebody else's problem now. Hopefully he learned. Maybe he'll change.
He grown. I think if that's how you are, that's how you are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then even him and his friend was cursing each other out while they was packing too. It was very odd. It's just a little strange. Neither here nor there. What is our topic today, or are we just getting into random topics?
Let's talk random topics.
Random topics.
I'm excited because not excited, but I just want to start interviewing people. I want people to come on the show and hear these stories, and we just talk.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy that we low key got noticed.
By who?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean,
hopefully,
but then whenever I schedule an interview, you don't be wanting to do it. So
when didn't I want to do an interview?
The guy.
I wanted to not do that.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Okay.
How did I not want to do it?
Okay. You just showed no enthusiasm.
I had to research him.
What they got to do with enthusiasm?
Do I ever show enthusiasm?
Yeah, when you be talking about the other. Let's talk about.
Come on the show.
Let's talk about this clip. I'm gonna play it. Hopefully my volume is up.
If you want to lay out your fabrics in a way to waste the least amount of fabric. Another episode of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and that's why we have shitty fitting clothes. If you have never studied pattern making, there are 3 grain lines to every fabric. There's the length grain, which is the warp. There's the cross, which is the weft. There's the diagonal, which is the bias grain. The woven fabric, the length grain has no stretch. The cross grain, there's some stretch. And the bias grain has the most stretch. If you want some shitty fitting clothes from a fast fashion brand like Shein, this is what you do to the front and back of a garment. This is why so many fast fashion lovers complain about shitty fitting clothes. Because unlike most fashion brands, these fast fashion brands do not have a technical person to tell you how to lay the garment out. Thank you guys.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Basically, the guy was he had a picture of pattern pieces laying out, and he was saying to lay out your pattern pieces like this in order to waste the least amount of fabric. And the issue with the way he laid it out was he wasn't considering the stretch of the fabric. Now, like the woman said, on every piece of fabric, there's grain lines, and the grain lines are very important to how you cut your pattern pieces. The stretch is going across the grain line. So like if top to bottom is going to have the least amount of stretch, or the cross grain is going to have some stretch, and the bias grain is going to have the most amount of stretch. And she was pointing out that when you don't have people excuse me, when you don't have people that work for your company that have a technical background, you end up with clothing like this, where they're only concerned about saving the most amount of fabric and making it any old type of way than actually paying attention to how fabric and stretch reacts to pattern pieces to form on the body. So I thought that was an interesting video, because do you think that that's true? Like when you get clothes from these companies, are they very ill-fitting, or
a little bit? Like, I was about to name companies, but no. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think I've never bought from most of the companies that she named, but I see pictures. You ever see a picture where it's like, or a video where somebody posted and was like, this Alaya dress versus the dupe off of Shein, or this BBX dress versus the dupe off of AliExpress. And the difference is, number one, the fabric they used is never the same type of fabric. And two, the way it fits on the body. Like sometimes they don't add darts where they needed a dart, or the zipper is lighter weight, or it doesn't have a lining, so one you can see through and one you can't. It's like, why would you even waste your time with this order?
LinkedIn predicted that seamstress, fashion designer, the business or the industry is going to go up between 2022 and 2030. Do you think that everybody's going to get a proper education?
No.
Or are they okay? So being as though everybody's about to learn how to sew, or everybody's about to be sewing again, do you think we're going to see stuff like this more?
What did it say? Seamstress and alterations?
Alterations, yeah.
Okay, then what was the question? I missed it.
Silly mistakes like this, or just him not knowing what he's talking about.
Yeah.
She called it you not knowing what you talk about.
Yeah. I definitely think more things like that will happen. You get what you pay for. And I also think this is why I don't understand why people think it's such a good thing to put in their bio, like self-taught designer. Like, keep that a secret.
A red flag.
It is a red flag.
That's a red flag.
It's a red flag for me.
At first, I didn't think so. I mean, at first I thought nothing of it, but now that I've been sewing for so many years, and everything I learned, I think I really sit back and I'm learning a lot right now.
Yeah.
So if somebody like self-taught, or just designers that I see that's self-taught, and then designers that I see that actually went to school, I see the difference.
It's a huge difference.
Huge
I'm like,
difference.
that is not a compliment. That is not something to boast about. You need somebody to teach you because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know to look for the grain line.
Yeah.
You don't know to look for this pattern. You don't know what needle is what. You don't know what foot is what. You don't know that you need to switch machines for this or that this can actually do that. You need a teacher.
Yeah.
So you should invest in one or a couple. If you don't want to go to school for it, you could definitely take 3 or 4 different courses and it would still be less than the one college degree, you know?
Yeah.
Courses be what? Between $2K, between like $1,000 and $3K. Even if you took 3 courses from 3 different fashion designers and entrepreneurs and kind of mixed and matched what you feel like your brand needed, it would still be significantly less than going to college for a 4-year degree. But I'm just saying, in any type of regard, you shouldn't be self-taught.
Yeah.
You need some type of mentor to teach you the things that you don't know you're missing.
Yeah, a lot of designers are doing courses now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the designers that's been in the game for 10 plus years, now they all uploading like a little tutorial or a little course on their pages because everybody see that someone is starting to take over.
Yeah,
I think it'll die down though.
Yeah.
After 2030, that was their prediction. I think everybody will come into the seamstress world, try it, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
it's not for me."
Get back out.
And we hear it all the time at the store. People be like, "Oh, I used to sew, but it was such and such." My grandma used to sew, but she don't like. It's hard to stick to it.
Yeah.
So you gotta be like your true love.
Yeah, because you
gotta go get that education. Don't skip. Don't skip that part.
Matter of fact, that was a post. I was going to send this to D, but I forgot, and I think I took a screenshot of it, and it says, "No one tells you sewing actually is 30% choosing a fabric, 30% cutting, 20% seam ripping, and figuring out what's wrong with your machine. 10% reading instructions, and the other 10% is actually sewing."
Yeah.
Nobody tells you that.
Yeah. I think I made a comment like a couple days ago, and I was like, I never imagined when I started sewing and I decided that I wanted to be a fashionista. I never imagined that that's what it all came with.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize that it's not just a pretty result at the end. It takes a lot to get to that result. So you just see the result. You just see nice clothes and think, "Oh, I want to be a part of that world."
Yep.
But no, it's a lot. And even if you don't sew, it's a lot to deal with the manufacturer, get patterns, do sizing, pick a zipper color, pick a thread color, send it to the manufacturer, make sure they have the exact design that you want, get samples, get a model to try on the samples. Once you get the samples, tell them what you like, what you don't like, then approve the order, then post it, then you have to get a photographer and a videographer to promote it. It's not just the end results. This is the process. So if you're not committed to it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it gotta be something that you really want.
Yeah. There was this post that said, the reason why Taylor Swift is so popular right now is because, or what y'all don't realize about Taylor Swift is that she been in the game for 20 years already. Like, she put out her first album when she was 16, and now she's 33, about to be 34. And I think that's another thing that people don't pay attention. It's not going to take 1-2 years, like, for you to be this good. Mind you, Taylor's first album was good. But I think people also need to keep in mind, like, the profit and the studying of it takes a long time too. So it is what it is.
I've been enjoying these past this past year. I think I've really been studying because of the podcast, studying fashion more, and even being at the store, just sitting and observing you and sewing, and I'm just learning. and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I would not have taken this road.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, instead of, I don't know what I mean. I mean, I'm learning.
Right.
I've been studying, and
But you said you would not have taken this route?
I didn't. When I first started, I just wanted to jump in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would have told me to, like, really sit, and I think I'm still going to be learning 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I'm still going to be, it's always something to learn.
Mm-hmm,
and
for sure.
I'm happy to learn now. Like, I want to learn. Before I do anything, I want to learn. But before, it was like, okay, just teach me this real quick, and I'm going to go on about my day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to just keep trying. But now it's, okay, this is, like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I think another view that people need to have is that, like, there's nothing wrong with learning.
Yeah.
Like, I learn something new every day. I'm a student of my craft every day. I'm never going to be too big or bold or feeling myself to be like, oh, I don't need to listen to this, topic, or I don't need to learn from this teacher or whatever, especially in different genres. I love taking marketing classes or entrepreneurship classes or whatever classes. But even psychology, like, I can relate everything back to learning the customer, the brand, the strategy, the whatever. I think you really do have to be a student of life in order to get better as an entrepreneur.
And then working at other businesses. One thing I heard, I've always worked at, not always, but I worked at a lot of small businesses, like businesses that just got started and they was still learning. One thing I heard a lot of them say was, I'm gonna just pay somebody to do it. I'm gonna pay somebody that know how to do it. Like, they don't take the time to learn. They just, I'm gonna spend money on you because you know and you could do it. But that's actually a terrible idea.
What is?
Paying somebody, not going into a business. Like, if you want to start a restaurant and you don't know nothing about the restaurant business, you just want to have a restaurant, and you open up a restaurant, but you don't know nothing about the kitchen, nothing about a bar, nothing about, you just hire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. You should know something about each area.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with that. But I do feel like at a certain point, you need to stop learning.
Yeah, at a certain point, yeah.
Like,
when you get to the point.
Yeah.
But at first, like, you walk in and you don't even know how to work the machine or, like, the register or, like, the platform. Like, that's wrong.
Right.
Like,
because you also don't have the information to know if somebody's doing something wrong. Because you don't know what that's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I agree with that part, but I do also think it's a waste of time to learn certain things.
But it happens a lot with fashion designers too, especially ones that don't know how to sew. Somebody, I think I talked about it in previous episode. This person is trying to get me to be their manufacturer. I'm not a manufacturer, but he don't know anything about sewing, and he's trying to produce his clothes. And I was like, you should just learn how to sew. He said, I don't feel like learning.
Right.
These was his words.
But he don't have to learn how to sew, but he needs to learn about sewing.
About manufacturing and sewing and stuff.
He needs to learn how a garment is made. He doesn't need to learn how to physically sew.
Yeah.
But he should know how a garment is made.
Yeah.
Or study how a garment is made.
And in his conversation, you could see that he didn't know much about anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, these are the Instagram fashion designers that y'all love.
I mean, but you see, you don't need to know much to be popping.
Right.
You need to, maybe he's just better at marketing.
Right.
Or better at getting fans, or better at, it's another person who has a lot of followers and fans, and he's a designer, and he do a whole bunch of yelling, and it's just not my style. But it's a lot of yelling, like, come down, like almost like a car deal salesman. come down to my store. We open today, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. We open. Come down. And people in the comments like, yo, I can't wait to visit. And I think they have found their customer because it ain't
Who
me.
do that?
I can't even stay here. I'll show you. But I'm just like, if this man don't calm down, I had to unfollow the child. I don't like all that yelling on my screen.
They keep the red flag customers with them though. So I don't be mad.
Yeah.
Well, why would I be mad?
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely parts to it that you can know and learn. You don't need to learn every part. But like I said, like somebody who might not know anything about sewing but knows everything about marketing, their brand might still be successful.
Yeah.
It's just the route you take.
Yeah.
I wanted to play this girl's clip.
Glorilla put up a picture of her and Joe Biden. And guess what the caption was?
Oh, God. What?
Yeah, Joe.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. I didn't know if it was going to be like, hate him or something.
Oh.
Okay, good. I appreciate that, Glorilla. I knew I liked you. I love Glorilla.
Yeah, her energy is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how she just responds to negativity and don't really let it get to her. And she's herself.
Yeah.
You know, like negativity can like shift your identity.
Mm-hmm.
So she remained herself.
I like her. I like her music. I like that her song is blowing up. Yeah, she seems
all
like
her
she
songs blow up.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I wanted to talk about this video right here. Let me see. Is it going to start from the beginning?
Sales. I don't understand. I launched my new collection last night and I had no sales. I don't get it. Did you start talking about your launch at least 6 weeks in advance? No. Okay. Did you show any of the behind the scenes leading up to the launch? No. Okay. Did you build any FOMO by specifying that you had a limited quantity or ask people to join a waitlist? No. Did you create a launch strategy that would kind of tell you what you were going to do week by week? No. Did you create any storytelling content to let people know why you started making this particular collection or launch? No. Did you use countdowns on stories to really build momentum and get people excited about your launch? No. Look, did you even set any goals for this launch? Let me guess, no? Guys, if this is huge for your product launches, read the caption.
So I thought that was a good video.
Yeah.
Because I feel like literally people are always like, I don't understand why I didn't get any sales. I did everything everybody told me. Mm-hmm. But you didn't do none of the things on that list. Mm-hmm. You didn't create any FOMO. You didn't post about it leading up to the launch. You just literally post, oh, the collection is out right now.
Yeah.
What collection? A collection that you've built no hype around?
Yeah.
Like,
that's interesting. That's what you gotta do?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, all of that?
Yes. You need to plan your launch.
Y'all want to be fashion designers.
Gear up to it. You need to show the behind the scenes process. You see me every day showing the behind the scenes. That's almost all I post.
Yeah.
I throw in some funny videos and then I add in some helpful tips. Mm-hmm. But I'm always showing the behind the scenes because I've noticed that's what sells the product. Yeah. Is me showing how these fittings go, or me showing hand sewing a garment, me showing my team, me showing, you know, whatever. You saw the video I posted, like, all right, get to know me. My name is Monica Monique. I hate being called Mo. Hate zodiac signs. Like, did you see that one?
No.
Oh my God, I posted it
when recently.
Days ago.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But yeah, like, you need to invite the audience to know you, to know about your product, to know about your launch, to get hype about working with you. Mm. If you just post, I got a collection out right now. Okay. What you have to get them to care about you first. Yeah. About you and your brand. So in her caption, it says, 1, plan your launches. 2, build excitement. You need to start teasing your followers roughly 6 weeks before your launch. 3, you need to build FOMO. create the fear of missing out. You saw the post I did, girl. What you doing? You saw
Sending love to the camera.
Sending love to the camera. You saw the post I did over the weekend where it was like, all right, I'm gonna add 10 spots, but that's gonna be it. And I did the countdown. All right, only 6 left. Okay, only 4 left. That's FOMO. That's me creating FOMO.
Yeah.
Emails. You need to send emails to people who joined your email list about the launch or about whatever you're trying to plan. You need to, number 5, keep the buzz going post-launch. Like, I've already launched prom season, right? That's been open since, December 1st, maybe November 1st. But I'm keeping the momentum going.
Yeah.
It says the weeks after the launch are just as important as the launch. You should be honing in on your customers' feedback, doing behind the scenes, making up all the orders, posting that you're making the orders and sending out the orders, cover any additional pain points that may persuade others to buy from the people who have already bought. So yeah, you should have a lot of these things in the works before you even
that's good.
post a thing.
That's good. I've been liking the content that seamstress and fashion designers been making. They're making good content.
Yeah. What kind of content?
Everything. The sewing content, the business content.
I don't even think she was a seamstress. She's just a regular business person.
Fashion business?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good too.
But that's why I'm saying you need to we need to be following people in all different genres.
Yes.
Because we can take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there. Because it's really just about knowing customer psychology. You know? So even if she has like a baking company, the same rules apply.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I thought that was
same
really good
rules
advice.
Apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build hype.
Yeah. That was good.
Create a following.
What's on my
show behind the scenes?
My whole fashion TO, my whole sewing page is sewing and fabric. There's no business on there.
Oh, really? Crazy.
It's style. There's little business pages, but majority is fashion news, gossip. What people is wearing.
Has there been any gossip this week?
The gossip has been very boring.
Good. People shouldn't gossip.
Yeah. The fashion gossip. But it's been the fashion shows. But the fashion shows is just the fashion shows.
Ooh, it was one fashion show I was watching on Instagram Reel, and of course it was chaotic and dramatic and just doing way too much. And people in the comments was like, "Oh, why are they doing all that? Like, I miss old fashioned shows where you could just see the clothes or whatever." Yeah. And somebody commented, "If you want to see regular clothes, go to a mall. This is a fashion show. Emphasis on the show." And I thought that was a bar.
No bars. Mwah. No bars.
I thought that was a bar. Like, if you want to see something regular, go to the mall. This ain't the mall. This is a show.
Yeah.
And they gave you a show. Now,
remember I said
I think they missed the fashion part of the show. But it was a show. And I did like that.
I don't miss old fashion shows. I always thought fashion shows was boring. Until they start doing these dramatic things. Yeah.
I liked the show part. I missed the fashion part. I don't mind the chaoticness as long as the fashion is cool. The fashion in that particular show wasn't cool, but I still appreciated that comment. I think if you could have a mix of both, then that would be really good.
Okay.
Like, it was like the pieces, let's say if it was a t-shirt, right? And then it was a t-shirt and the front and the back was cut out, and it would, like, the person wrote on the person's back, "Sew back." Like remember to sew a back on this shirt. But instead of sewing the back on the shirt, they just put the sticker on the model. And that was part of the show. So that was just like the whole show was like ripped off pants and then it would be like a sign that said "Fix Rip." Like that was the show, and then like the models were walking chaotically and tripping and all that other stuff. Either way, didn't necessarily like the show as much as I liked that one quote of, if you want regular clothes, go to a mall. If you want to see a fashion show, then come to a show. Yeah. You know? So I did like that.
Did you see the Diesel show and they was throwing trash at the models? The audience. The models was walking and Diesel, the audience, they was just throwing trash at them. And that was the show.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. That's the most recent show?
Walking in trash.
Interesting. I mean, live your life.
Yeah. It's art.
Remember last year the Diesel fashion show, they had a pile of condoms in the back? Like a mountain of condoms.
No.
And then, it was like, I don't know if it was sponsored by condoms, but it had like their stage. It was like a mountain of condoms on the stage. And then they had some plastic condom dresses too, I believe, as well. Maybe it was about safe sex. We posted it on the podcast page.
Okay.
The show overall, the fashion was good in that show. I liked the clothes. It was like a lot of denim, metallic, belt skirts. You know how Diesel has those big belts that are skirts, mini skirts or whatever. The show overall was good. But yeah. Any last topic you want to bring up before we log off?
No.
Any
last topic for you?
Let me think. You
Red
know
carpet?
what? In the last, in one of our recent podcasts, we talked about the fashion show that we went to, and I did want to mention we interviewed this guy, and we kind of did the this or that question. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it for you. And I remember us talking to him at the end, like, okay, now this is why we're not going to support this brand and why you shouldn't either. And I thought that was funny.
So a lot of people don't know about it.
Ready? Okay. So you're in the 7-figure fashion business. What fashion trends are your favorite right now?
Right now, I say they bringing back the baggy pants and everything again.
Okay.
So I feel like the baggy pants is more lit.
Okay, now you have to choose one, okay? Zara or Fashion Nova?
Zara.
Okay, Zara or Express?
Zara.
Zara or Balenciaga?
I say Balenciaga.
Okay, Balenciaga or Balmain?
Balenciaga again.
Last one, Balenciaga or Louis Vuitton?
I say Balenciaga.
Okay, Balenciaga for the
type of
win.
style on there.
They got your type of style? All right, Balenciaga for the win.
Real red.
So that was a cute little interview that we did, and the guy, I believe his name was Steve or Steez. Afterwards, we were like, okay, no, we're not supporting Balenciaga, and here's why. And he was like, oh no, did I make a mistake? I was like, no.
Or Zara.
Rep your style. Oh yeah, you said or Zara.
I said you chose both the wrong people.
And then he was like, oh yeah, you're right. We can't support that type of behavior. But I thought that was funny. It's like, we are spreading awareness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
So we gotta stand on business.
10
so
toes.
Balenciaga walking here offer us 10 mil like they did.
Kim K?
Yeah. Are we going to turn into Kim K or are we going?
No thanks, but you know, that's interesting. I think if they were to give us 10 mil, it would be to shut us up. Even though we're not saying anything bad about them, just that they, you know,
did that photo shoot.
Are interested in children.
Yeah.
You know, there's a clip of where this guy, and this will be the last thing I say. There was a clip where this guy was standing behind this other guy, like, let's say, like, getting a coffee. And he noticed that the guy on his phone was scrolling through, like, children's pictures and zooming in on certain parts of the little kids. And he walked up to the guy and said something. He was like, yo, what are you doing? And the guy was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I see your phone. Like, I see you zooming in on these kids' photos and whatever. And he was like, are you a pedophile? Like, why would you even do that? That's crazy. And he was like, we don't like that term. We like to be called minor attracted.
Ew.
We? Who is we? I'm
This
sorry.
is a video?
Yes. Yes, it was the guy telling what happened earlier when he went to get a coffee.
Oh.
But I'm sorry. We? That's the part. Oh, you got a community where y'all like to be called minor attracted? I would like y'all to be called jailbirds.
Go to jail. You're going to jail.
I think y'all should be called
Insane.
Yeah, y'all should be called inmate 725-43028. Like, that should be y'all name. What you mean? We like to be called minor attracted. Weirdo. Anyway.
Maybe he worked for Balenciaga.
Maybe. Look. Allegedly Balenciaga, you know.
We'll never know.
Count your blessings. Count your kids. Make sure they all there.
I can't wait for Kim K to speak out. Well, hopefully it's on this new season, and she explained why she decided to work with Balenciaga. But I'm upset.
Don't even say nothing, because if you say something,
It's going.
Yeah. Count your blessings. Z don't want to finish before you count.
Yeah. Can't even get it out.
Your money.
I can't even get it out
Your
today.
moolah. Your kids.
Count your kids.
Count your kids. Goodbye.